The first thing we had to do when we got to the village is meet the local chief and get his permission to film in the village. This is the same Godfrey had to do every time he got to a new village to distribute the drugs. Once we had explained to the chief what we were going to do, we got his permission to film in the village, and Laston went to meet Dorothy, a local villager infected with lymphatic filariasis. As Dorothy was being excluded and isolated from the village due to her condition, her hut was on the outside of the village. Laston came back and Dorothy had agreed to meet with me. I must say I was pretty nervous. This was pretty short-lived because Dorothy and I connected very quickly, and she agreed almost right away to do the filming with me. She even gave me one of her newly born twins while she went to change for the filming. This was a sign of trust, and I think Laston was as relieved as I. We did some very nice shots with Dorothy, especially one which is a close-up of her looking at one of her twins with the village in the distance. This was a very powerful shot and really created that feeling of loneliness and exclusion. We then did some shots on the slider with Dorothy and 3 other villagers with LF to show the swelling of the legs which LF causes. We got some really nice shots with Dorothy and the other villagers. And by the time we had carried all the equipment back to the cars, we were exhausted. But it was nice weather and we couldn't risk leaving any filming to the next day in case it rained, so we just had to get on with it. So we started walking around the village with Godfrey and filming the interaction he would normally have with the local villagers. While we were doing this, Joey was kindergarten cop. He distracted all the children in the village by taking pictures on his phone and playing games with them. And seemingly unimportant job, but it was essential for us and the success of the 360 version that Joey managed to distract all the children. If we had had all the kids around us all the time, we would never have managed to hide them all in the shots. Godfrey became an expert at convincing villagers to be filmed, explaining them what we were doing, and we were just filming shot after shot, and by the time we reached the end of the village to the west, the sun was settling. We decided on one final shot of Godfrey walking into the sunset. It was a beautiful end shot. We had a fisherman fixing his net in the side of the shot, and as Godfrey walked into the sunset, some children came running over to him to walk off with him. It was just a perfect end shot.
Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hey.
Mawa.
Tune in next week to see how we almost got run over by cattle. We get surprised by a rainstorm. We fly the drone in the village and it creates a huge crowd. Thanks for watching. Remember to share, like and comment below.